The West Coast Swing by Group 14.
Jordan, Frisbee, and Tatiana Mollman. Every day, a shade of blue. You won't believe what I'm going through. It just feels like I can't afford to let myself go. No, oh, no. Everyone is just the same. They touch me, but I can't say there has been no one brighter than you. I can't deny these things that I do. It feels like the world is still gone. I have been waiting for you. There has been no light brighter than you, and I can't deny these things that I do. Feels like the walls are still. I have been waiting for you, for you. Every day I sit down and I feel like I'm waiting. Heavenly, that's what you are. Burning me like a shining star. How am I supposed to be that king without you? Oh, it's true. Everyone is just the same. They love me, but I can't say there's been no one brighter than you. I can't deny these things that I do. Feels like the world is still gone. I have been waiting for you. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
The history of West Coast swing started in the 1920s and 30s. Swing dance is a broad term used to describe multiple partner dances evolving from this era. Lindy Hop is a type of swing dance created in Harlem in New York City during the late 1920s, created from dancers trying to mimic the Charleston and Foxtrot.
West Coast swing is seen as a more modern version of these dances.
Gender roles. At the time, many swing dances were learned during World War II. Men were drafted to fight, so it was common for women to practice to learn how to dance with other women. Vice versa, men would also learn with other men. Having a woman lead was not uncommon at the time. However, in today's society, it is more common for a man to lead. Through swing dance, women were able to gain more equality and independence. The strength required of both partners called upon the masculinity of both male and females. The idea that a female had to be one of the following was undermined. Both the male and female had the same footing. This echoed gender equality. Society's perception of the female role had transformed from traditional. Gender roles for men. Although the creation of swing dance had a dramatic effect on women's gender roles, it also had a profound impact on men's. Before swing dance, men who had danced were considered effeminate or as lacking the characteristics of man. The Lindy Hop required a great ordeal of strength, and thus changed how male dancers were viewed. They started to become more seen as athletes or with a manly perspective.
Cultural effects. Lindy Hop was a cultural phenomenon that helped to break the race barrier during the time of segregation. It also united different ethnic groups, allowing a common language through jazz music. The use of jazz music also influenced daily routine and lifestyles, resulting in a more upbeat pace. Movies with swing dancing allowed for it to spread across regions as well. Social effects. Women icons were on the rise and began setting a new image for women. Public dancing became the key American courtship method. For the first time in history, all girl bands emerged. African American artists were starting to be followed by whites. Swing dance music. Before this time, jazz music was only present in African American music. The development of swing dance was a response to trends for popular music. West Coast swing is typically danced to pop, R&B, jazz, and funk. As swing music evolved, it influenced American culture as it incorporated the fun and upbeat music into a new fun and upbeat way of life. How West Coast swing differs. In comparison to an East Coast swing, which correlates more to a jitterbug, with a faster, more upbeat pace, West Coast swing tends to be a slower and more controlled formal dance style. Individuals may get the two types confused because both swings follow a triple step.
Basic West Coast swing patterns. First is the starter step. This is only performed once, and that is at the beginning of the dance. This pattern sets the tempo and rhythm for the bodies. Second is the left side pass. The leader steps back and allows for the follower to slide to the left and travel back the distance to the leader. Third, underarm pass with right slide pass. Both dancers step back in tempo. The leader holds the follower by the hand and allows them to spin and pass under the leader's arm. After the spin, a right side pass can be performed. 4. Push, break, or sugar push. A 6-count move where the leader slightly pushes the follower with one or both hands. The follower is first pushed away from the starting position and is then pulled back to the original spot. This is all done while the follower is facing the leader. 5th step, tuck turn. After performing the left slide pass, the follower is then half turned by the leader and is then tucked under the leader's left arm. 6. Basic whip. An 8-count pattern where the follower passes the leader down a slot. The follower is then redirected back to the original slot by the leader, all while keeping contact.